Hello. Okay. So, in this lecture, we are going to study what are different methods of qualitative data collection. Okay. So, there are main four methods: individual interviews, focus groups, observations, and fourth is action research. Another methods of qualitative research, these are nothing but the methods of qualitative research. It also includes observation and immersion, interviews, open-ended surveys, content analysis of visual and textual materials, and oral history from the respondent. Now the first is interviews. Okay. So like I told you regarding the questionnaire, they can be unstructured or structured manner. Similarly, the interviews can also be in the unstructured manner or structured manner. Okay. So interviews can be unstructured. So when we say the interviews can be unstructured, these can be referred to the depth or in-depth interviews. Okay. They have little structure at all. The interviewer, he may just go with the aim of discussing the limited number of topics, sometimes as few as just one or two. So the questions are fixed, like how many questions a interviewer should ask to an interviewee. So these questions are fixed and very limited in case of unstructured interviews. Okay. Then interviewer may frame the interview question based on the interviewee and his her previous response. So this is unstructured way that on the response received from the respondent, the interviewer may frame his or her question. Okay. So this allows the discussion to cover the areas in greater detail or generalized statements, or the interviewer can conduct the interview into greater detail to dig out the information from the respondent. So this unstructured type of interviews, it also involve researcher wanting to know or find out more about specific topic without there being the research which is planned. Okay. So whenever on the spot certain questions are asked, there are more chances that the you get more responses and more outcomes from that particular interview. Okay. Then the another type of method of data collection in qualitative research is the semi structured interview. Okay. So in semi structured interviews, these are also called as focused interviews. Okay. Focused interviews. So in this, what happens, a series of open ended questions are asked to the respondent based on the topic or the area the researcher want to cover. So it includes open ended questions. Okay. The series of broad questions to ask and may have some prompts to help the interviewee. So, in between, the interviewer may prompt with the answers, or not answers, but may help the interviewer so that he does not feel awkward while answering the questions. Okay, so the interviewer, he can prompt in between to the interviewee. Then open-ended nature of questions are there under the investigation, and it provides the opportunity for both interviewer as well as interviewee to discuss some topic into greater detail. So any topic is discussed into greater detail because the questions are open-ended. Then the semi-structured interviews, it also allow researcher to prompt or encourage the interviewee if they are looking for more information, or they wanted to find out what they are saying or what they are interested into. Okay, so that is the involve it all depends on the skill of the interviewer, how he is asking questions. Okay, what type of questions he is asking, whether the questions are comfortable to the interviewee, and he should not feel awkward while, and he should give his real response or the true answers to the question. So it is all the skill of the interviewer to conduct the interview. Okay, so this method actually, it gives researcher the freedom to probe the interviewee to elaborate or follow his instinct. Okay, so that is semi structured kind of interview. And then there we have structured interview as well. Now in structured interview, what happens? In structured interview, the interviewed ask the respondent the same questions in the same manner. Okay, so questions are fixed. Okay, suppose 10 questions are there, so those the responses are collected for only those 10 questions. Okay, so that is nothing but we call it as an structured interview. No extra question or no additional question depending on the response is asked to the respondent. Okay, the question may be phrased in order, in certain order. Okay, suppose you can give rating to the service: good, very good, poor, very poor, like that. So, rating based question, opinion based questions can be asked in the structured interview. Okay, so that is the difference between structured, semi structured, and unstructured interview. Then the next type of data collection in qualitative research is focus groups. Okay, focus groups. The focus group, what is the focus group? Focus group is used when it is better to obtain the information from the group rather than the individual. Okay, so you don't take individual interview or collect the data from individual, but you ask question to the group. Okay, group of people collectively, and then note down the response of the group, or we in the qualitative research it is called as group opinion. Okay, so group opinion are noted down. Group interviews are used. These are used when the resources are limited, like you have less time, you don't have more manpower to conduct the individual interview, and also you have limited finance available with you. So in that case, you don't go from one person to another person, but person to person, but you collect all the group members or the respondents together, and then you collectively ask them the questions or opinion. So that is nothing but the focus group. Okay, the phenomenon being researched requires a collective discussion in order to understand the circumstances, behavior, or opinions. And like this, it provides greater insights of the group dynamic or cause or consequences. It may be, you know, it is a better method to identify the inclination of the group, whether the group is positive or negative or neutral. So by discussing or carrying out certain discussion in the group, one can identify the inclination of the group. Okay, so that is the second method, that is focus groups. So members of the focus group, they have something in common, like they are studying for the, just a moment. The members of the focus group should have something in common which is important to the investigation. Okay, say for example, you are investigating the employees of certain organization. Okay, so what is common in them is they are working in the same organization. They should have some common characteristics, or they may be they are of a particular type, like all are teachers, all are employees, some respondents who are living in particular locality. Okay, or some income level, or any specific group, or belong to certain family. Okay, so a group should be formed with certain common characteristics, and then the investigation can be conducted, or the information can be derived. So groups can either be put together, or there can be existing groups. So it is always helpful to form the groups properly in order to get the correct information. Okay, so in focus group, the aim of the focus group is always to make use of the participants' feelings. Okay, in focus groups also, though you ask the question to the group, all individuals they respond individually. Okay, like they talk about their feelings, they talk about their perceptions and opinions. So, aim of the focus group is to make use of the participants' feelings as much as possible. Okay, so for handling the focus group, you should have proper skills. A interviewer or the researcher should have the group skills. He should be able to communicate with the group properly, try to dig out the information, real information from the group. He should be able to facilitate the group properly, moderate or control, or observe or listen to the group dynamics, what they are saying. He must be able to note down the important points and perform the analysis of that focus group. So these are the skills that are required by the researcher. Okay, then certain characteristics of the focus group are there, that the recommended size of the sample group is 6 to 8. The group should not be big, because if the group is big, you might not be able to note down the opinions and their ideas properly. So you can make small groups, and then try to collect the information. Okay, and make the task more easy. So several groups, they should be used in order to get more objective information. Okay, and you can these groups will add the breadth and depth of the information. Minimum of 3 focus groups are recommended for the best practice approaches, right? Now the next method of data collection in qualitative is observation. Okay, so observation is one of the very important technique. It is used in quantitative as well, that you observe, you collect the data. So this is a secondary type of data collection method. Okay, in primary data collection method, you have interviews, questionnaires, and so on, whereas in secondary data collection, you have the observation and record review methods. So observation is a secondary type of data collection method, secondary source of data collection, which involves taking place in which involves that observation to take place in a natural settings or on the site, whatever wherever you are going for collecting the data, maybe certain hospital or certain society or certain organization. So you have to, the researcher has to visit to that particular field, that particular natural settings he has to visit, and then study the observations properly and take the descriptive notes of what is happening during the observation, how the treatment is given. For example, certain patient camp is there and you are going to discover or to carry out the research about how the treatment is given. So you should note down the flow of the for example patient, how he is approaching, then what is happening, how the staff is giving treatment to the patient, whether his all queries are answered or not. Okay, like that. Some data can be collected through observation only, how the procedure is there, whether proper sitting arrangement is there or not, like that. Some data that you have to observe and collect through observation only, right? So observation is also one important data collection technique in the qualitative research. Okay, now there are certain limitations of observations also, like change in people's behavior when they know that you are observing. Say for example, you go to certain bank and then you say that you have come to carry out the survey about the customers. So the moment you say or reveal that you are observing their procedures or observing how the things are there, their behavior will change. Okay, so they will behave more artificially, or they may not behave naturally, right? So sometimes the people tend to change their behavior when they come to know that the researcher is observing you. Okay, a snapshot view of the whole situation you may not get at the same time. Okay, because of the biasness in the people's behavior. Then the researcher may miss something while they are watching or taking the notes. When you are watching or when you are writing something, some incidents may happen and you may tend to miss out that incidents. Okay, so such things may happen because it is not recording. In when you are video recording, you can observe the each and everything what is happening in the camera and record it in the camera, but in the observations it does not happen like that. And then the last is that the researcher may make judgments of make value statements or misunderstand what has been observed. Sometimes he may not get the real picture of what is happening, so he may tend to judge the a person or judge the situation by observing the situation. Okay, so these are certain limitations of the observation method. Okay, certain strengths, more strengths are there of the observation technique, that you can readily see what is happening and you get the bigger picture, you get the overall idea about the observation through the observation that you are conducting. Okay, and then once you observe the thing, you can include more facets to your research, you can add in more variables, you can you know you can design your remaining research in a proper manner by adding or by value addition through the observation. Okay, and sometimes researcher becomes the participant observer, like he also become the participant. Like you being a customer, you go as a customer to the bank, so you know that you are researcher, but then you go as a customer to the bank and then try to find out what is happening and how they are treating. Okay, so it gives you a real picture about the situation, and then you accept that particular situation, which brings more real picture to the to your research. Okay, and you get more reliable information. Okay, the next thing is that through observation you get more reliable information. आपण मराठीत म्हणतो ना की स्वतःला अनुभव आला की आपण काही गोष्टी ऍक्सेप्ट करतो, ऐकीव गोष्टींवर आपण विश्वास ठेवत नाही. तर तसं काही ह्या ऑब्झर्वेशन टेक्निकमध्ये आहे. इट गिव्स यू मोर रिलायबल इन्फॉर्मेशन अँड अबाउट सर्टन थिंग्स अँड यू टेन टू बिलीव्ह what is happening because you see with your own eyes, and then you tend to make the real judgments, and then come out with the true research. Okay, you observe the people, you observe the environment, and then you you conduct the proper you collect the proper data. Okay, so these are the strength of the observation. So while you are observing, you have to also note down certain things. Okay, so there are certain written descriptions, and also you are allowed in the observation video recording. Okay, so this video recording is also one of the technique for used for recording of the observations. Okay, so written description is that you write about the how the people are there, how is the situation, okay, how is the environment, so you make the notes in writing. Okay, whereas in video recording, it allows the researcher to record the notes. You record everything. Okay, people limitations may include people acting unnaturally towards the camera, so this is also one limitation. Okay, try to avoid the camera, and the camera may not always see everything. Whatever comes in the vicinity of video, you may only record those things. Okay, so a few techniques of data collection through observation are written description and video recording, right? Then another is photographs and artifacts and documentation. Okay, so in photographs, you take different photographs of buildings, neighborhoods, appearance, customers, their physical infrastructure, the layout, everything. So that photographs you take, and the artifacts that include the objects, so certain objects which add value to your research. Okay, that you include the instruments, the tools, the tech, certain tools or apparatus is there. Okay, certain instrument artifacts is certain instrument which add value to your research. Okay, so that is there, which is one technique of collection. Okay, and another is documentation. So you can see, all different types of documentation which is available, like a local newspaper, or what is written on the notice board of the organization. Okay, what are the administrative policies, suppose certain policy manuals are there, you may visit, you may browse through those manuals and different procedures, or what are the comments or the feedbacks given by the earlier customers or respondents, so that you can use, you can study those documents into greater detail. Okay, so these are also few of the techniques which are used while collecting the data through observation. Okay, then the fourth one is self study. So self study is one of the important method of performing qualitative research. Okay, whenever you are studying, because in quantitative what happens, you have the data, and that data itself give you a pattern, you know, it give you certain trend. Through whenever you select the variable and you design the chart, you come to know the pattern, where is high, where is low data is there, where is the level high, where is the level low, like that. But whenever you have the data in textual manner, like opinions and all that, okay, you need to carry self study. You have to read each and every questionnaire properly, each and every answer, that is response of the respondent, you have to perform, you have to carry the self study. Okay, so that is important from the qualitative point of view. Okay, then the next is ethnography. Okay, now ethnography is also one of the method which is used for carrying out the qualitative research study. Okay, now what is ethnography? Ethnography has a background in anthropology. It means the portrait of people. The meaning of anthropology is nothing but portrait of people. You try to draw the portrait of people. Trying to draw the portrait of people means you study those people, their description, their characteristics into greater detail. Okay, so ethnography is a methodology for descriptive studies of culture and people, and looks at the people, culture, and commonalities of shared experiences. So you go to, suppose, tribal community. Suppose you are carrying out certain anthropology research and you are trying to visit some Adivasi community, है ना? So try to study their habits, their daily routines, their culture, how they are, what food they eat, how they, you know, celebrate their festivals, what type of clothes they wear, what are their beliefs, how they, pray to God. So there are certain lifestyles they follow. They follow certain lifestyles. So study of, so whenever you are studying all these characteristics of the certain people, you tend to carry out anthropology study. Okay, or the method that you use is called as ethnography. So, in social science research or in qualitative research, this ethnography study is conducted. Okay, so ethnographic research, it entails extensive fieldwork by the researcher. Data collection, it includes formal, informal interviews. Okay, often interviewing an individual on several occasions. Participative observations are there, like you invite the respondent to participate in their survey. Okay, because it involves the field visit, it also includes, it also require great time, more time on the field for observing the people and observing how they are living and all their culture. So it is more time consuming. Ethnography study is more time consuming study. Okay, the analysis of ethnographic data, okay, it is also called as emic. Okay, now which means that the researcher attempts to interpret the data from the perspective of the sample that was studied. Say for example, you try to be in the shoe of the people. You try to think from how they are thinking, म्हणजे त्यांच्या बाजूने, you be one of them, and then you try to study the situation from their point of view. Okay, you try to mimic. So that is also one of the characteristics of the ethnography study, that the researcher attempts to interpret the data from the perspective of the sample. Okay, that is to understand the subject themselves, understand the language, try to understand their language, their terminology, what they are using. Okay, what is the meaning of their words, the words that they are using, like that. Okay, then the another is action research. Okay, so action research is one such method which involve, it doesn't just involve asking about the issue, it involves carrying out certain task. Okay, you carry out the action. Okay, so that is why it is called as a action research, not just taking notes, but actually carrying out certain task in the at the field. Okay, that is called as the action research. Okay, so
Immediate solution for the particular problem.
correct, correct. So in
Short
this,
problems.
right, right. So what happens is you practically intervene the situation, because there may be several reasons for the action research. Okay, there may be certain important emergency. Okay, and it is necessary to take the action and intervene by the researcher. So you need to carry out some changes in the procedure. Suppose, for example, at certain place, the procedure is taking much time and delay in delivery of the service to the customer. So on the spot, certain tasks may be conducted, reshuffling of the procedure in order to get the better result. So that is the example of action research. Okay. So these observations we have talked about. Open-ended surveys also we have talked about how open-ended surveys are conducted. Okay. Open-ended questionnaires are there. Oral history is also it is one of the method. It is used in in-depth interviews. Okay, wherein you orally take the history of the group of community or the person or certain group of people who are working in certain organization or certain locality. So you the oral history method, it is used to create the historical account of an event, what happened in the history, how this event was conducted earlier, like that. Okay. So that is in while the in-depth interviews are conducted, you try to dig out the history of an event. So that is nothing but called as the oral history. Okay. Then participant observation is also that you observe the participant, how they are performing. Okay, this method is similar to the observation, in which the researcher participates in the action or events to not only observe the others but to gain the first hand experience in the setting. Like I said, you go to visit as a customer, है ना? Don't go as a visitor. So then you get the first hand experience in the setting. So participant, you be a participant and then carry out the observation. Then content analysis is again one method in qualitative research. In content analysis, what happens? This method is used by the sociologist or the researcher to analyze the social life by interpreting the words and images from the documents, or it may be there may be different sources of data. It can be document, it can be films, it can be art, it can be music, or it can be any product, which is or it can be any IT platform. Okay. So different the analysis is done by interpreting the words and different images or different data that is gathered through all these sources. The data is interpreted. Okay, that is called as a content analysis. So researcher look at how the words and the images are used, how the context is drawn. Okay, and then try to correlate the data, try to identify the culture. Suppose you observe the film, you observe certain documentary, and then you try to make your own understanding about it. Okay, you see the images, you see the old images, and then you try to figure out, you try to put it into words. Okay, that is nothing but we call it as an content analysis. So there it can be of any form. It can be a digital material, it can be document, it can be film, or it can be art or video, anything. Right. So you try to figure out in words, that we call it as an content analysis. Right. So that was regarding different methods of data collection. Okay, observations, interviews. Now, these are also a few terms which are related to qualitative research. That is something called as ethnography we have studied, but there is also something called as grounded theory, ethnography, phenomenology, and field research. Okay, so these are nothing but the terminologies which are related to qualitative research. Now we have talked about inductive and deductive research, right? So uh, we know the approaches of the deductive research and inductive approach, right? So in inductive approach, the theory is developed. Okay, and whereas in deductive research, the theory is tested, right? So grounded theory is much related to this concept of inductive and deductive research. Okay, so in grounded theory, it is nothing but a inductive process, okay, of generating the theory from the data. Okay, so that is what is the uh, name that is given to this approach, that is grounded theory. Okay, so this is considered ground up or bottom up processing, that you start with a certain issue. Okay, you try to collect the data, you analyze it, and then on the basis of it you generate your theory. Okay, so this is called as bottom up approach. From the bottom you start, from collecting the raw data, and then you go on towards the peak and develop the theory. So there are, very arguments related to this approach. Grounded theorist or the researcher, they argue that the theory is generated from the observations of the empirical world and may not valid or useful than the theories generated from the deductive inquiries. Because in deductive inquiries, what happens? In deductive method, the social phenomenon is observed and theory is developed to explain why it is occurred. And then you test your hypothesis based on the theory, है ना, based on the theory which is already there, and then you test your theory. Okay, so in grounded theory, many argue that it is generated from the observation of the empirical world and may not be valid. Okay, so that is there. So grounded theory basically, we look into greater detail what is grounded theory. So grounded theory is a methodical, or and it is also called as an inductive approach in gathering and analyzing the patterns in the data. So you try to dig out the patterns in the data. You try to identify the patterns or trends into the data by collecting the data, right? So it seeks to interpret how human beings understand their world, or let's say how they are interacting with each other, what they are interacting, like that the data is collected. And hence, the job of grounded theory is to verify the research participants reality. What is actually the reality? Look into the socially sharing meanings which influence the behavior. What factors are influencing the behavior of the participants? So these are tested. Now various methods or tools that are used for grounded theory are social media analytics, scrapbook is there, online diaries, where they, people, they share their opinions, they share their ideas, and then uh, online diaries or scrapbook are there where they express themselves. So these all tools are used for collecting the data. So grounded theories, they criticize that the deductive reasoning, since it relies upon the prior assumption about the world. So there is certain prior assumption, then then you collect the data and then you develop the theory. So many researchers, they argue that it relies upon the prior assumption about the world. You assume certain thing and then you tend to develop theory from it, so which is wrong. Like that, certain criticisms are there. However, the grounded theory, it incorporates the deductive reasoning when using the constant comparison. So whenever the comparisons are conducted or certain patterns are compared, okay, the deductive approach is also used. Okay, the theory which is already developed, that is used as a base for carrying out the comparison. So it also incorporates some part of deductive reasoning. So in doing this, the researcher may detect certain patterns in the observation. Okay. Now these are the steps which are used in grounded theory research. The first is questions or collection of the qualitative data. So you can employ any method of open-ended questionnaire for collecting the qualitative data. Then review the collected data, then try to code the data which is been extracted on the basis of grouping the opinions and all. Then group the codes, concepts, and try to categorize the data into different patterns, and then a new theory is conceptualized from the categories. So on observing different categories and groups of the person, their behavior, you can develop new theory. So that is the grounded theory approach. So in social science research, generally the fields like psychiatry, psychology, sociology, medicine, management, okay, industrial relations, these grounded theory approach is very much used. So new theory is conceptualized, which can act as a base for the further research. Okay, so grounded theory is all about putting up or establishing a new theory by adopting inductive research method. The next is ethnography. So ethnography we have talked about. Yes, ethnography, it comes from the Greek word ethos, which means folk or nation. Okay, so it is a methodological study of a people or culture, which entails researcher to observe participants from their perspective. Okay, so you can culture is represented graphically in writing, in video, in music, like that. Okay, so whenever anthropology study is conducted, okay, it is most appropriate for exploring the beliefs, issues, and language and other cultural systems. And the method that is followed in ethnography is that first evaluation if the ethnography is the most suitable approach. So first you have to identify whether ethnography is the most suitable approach. If you are talking about culture, studying certain culture of the community along with their beliefs, issues, and language, okay, then you should go for ethnographic study. Okay, if your say focus is on developing certain theory, you should go for grounded method, grounded theory approach. Okay, so the first is evaluation if the ethnography is the most suitable approach. Second is identifying and locating the most appropriate group. You have to first locate the group for whom you are going to conduct this study. Then select the cultural theme or theory or issue. You have to select certain culture or certain theory which you wanted to test, or certain issue which you wanted to study. Then determine which anthropography type you utilize. So different methods of data collection, you have to collect the information, then data analysis, and then you can note down the findings or report the researchers and participants view. Okay, so this is nothing but ethnographic study. So there are different types of ethnography: realistic ethnography, case study ethnography, critical ethnography. So in realistic ethnography, you take the real problem and then you try to study their culture. Then in case study, you take case study of certain locality or community, certain group of people like focus group, and then study the incidences or happenings that have happened previously, like a case studies. Okay, and then you study those case studies and then carry out the research. And then the next is the critical ethnography. So critical ethnography is uh, used to analyze the critical problems in the culture. Okay, then the next method is phenomenology. Okay, so phenomenology helps to understand the meaning of people's lived experience. Okay, people uh, what they have experienced in their life. Okay, it is a study of their experiences, what the people have experienced. Okay, so the phenomenological study, it explores what people experienced and focused on their experience of a phenomena, right? So whenever your study is confined to studying the experience of the people, what they have experienced, okay, in their real life, then then phenomenology, that type of research falls under phenomenology. And then the last one is field research. So field research is a qualitative method of data collection which is aimed at understanding, observing and interacting with people in their natural setting. So you go on the field and you collect the data. Okay, that is nothing but field research. So these are nothing but a different type of research which are conducted under qualitative research methods, qualitative research. Okay, any doubt in this? I think I have shared MCQs with you, or no? Hello, hello students, have you understood? Yes, have you understood? Any doubt? Okay, so if no doubt is there, then we are done with actually the I have tried to cover the maximum portion of your syllabus of qualitative research. Okay, if you have any doubt in any particular topic, if you want me to revise, you can tell me. These all questions are expected related to grounded theory. What is grounded theory? Yes. Which approach is used in grounded theory? So MCQs may be there, inductive or deductive. So it is inductive approach. Okay.
मॅम घरी गेल्यावर मी पीपीटी वाचेन परत एकदा तुम्ही सेंड केल्यावर आणि काही असेल तर
हम्म.
तुम्हाला विचारतो.
येस येस येस. मी तुम्हाला
बरोबर आहे कारण आता.
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक ठीक, नो प्रॉब्लेम. मी तुम्हाला MCQs पण शेअर करते. मला मला वाटतं मागच्या वेळेस मी केलेले आहे. बट आय विल रीशेअर दी MCQs बिकॉज इट विल बी ऑनलाईन एक्झाम. ठीक आहे. सो ट्राय टू
ओके मॅम.
सॉल्व दी मॅक्सिमम MCQs.
येस मॅम, थँक्यू.
ठीक आहे. ओके. ऑल द बेस्ट.
थँक्यू मॅम.
Okay. So we will end up the meeting now. You can leave the meeting.